open up the waiting room. So Kayla, give it just 1 second and everybody will be in.
Welcome everyone to graduation. My name is Kayla Escobedo and I'm excited to welcome everybody today. This is the exciting day that we've all been waiting for. And as today you're going from trainees to official court-appointed special advocates. Also, welcome to the friends and family that are viewing on our YouTube live stream today. On the agenda for today, we have first the swearing-in ceremony with the Honorable Judge Greenberg. You'll also have an opportunity to hear from other departments in the organization, and then you will also meet your advocate supervisor toward the end of the graduation. Before we get started, just some tech housekeeping. If you're having issues with Zoom, you can go ahead and private message Taina. If you get kicked out, she'll put her contact information into the chat. Make sure you just write that down somewhere so that way if you can't get back in, you have a way to contact her so that way you can. But she'll also come looking for you if she sees that you drop out. Also, make sure that you stay on mute while not speaking, just to reduce the amount of background noise going on. I also ask that when the trainees are taking their oaths here shortly, that all staff turn on their videos so that way the trainees videos can get pushed to the front of the YouTube stream. So right now I'm going to pass it off to Lynn, our Director of Volunteer Services, to introduce our special guests.
Hi everyone, and congratulations. This is always a special day for everyone because you put in so much hard work in your training, and it's so exciting to be getting a new case and everything. But we have an extra special guest, and he's the presiding judge of the juvenile court for how many more days?
I'm into single digits after today.
Oh, this is Judge Victor Greenberg, and this is his last CASA swearing in. So you all are very lucky, and we are lucky to have him. So with that, Judge Greenberg, take it away.
Thank you, and welcome to all of our new CASAs. I'm really excited to be here and to be doing my last swearing in. And I want to welcome all of you to our court family. The work that you do is so vitally important to the kids and to the court. We rely on you and upon your reports in court to figure out what we need to do to benefit the children and families that are before us. And you bring a really unique perspective to it. And it's not just the advocacy in CASA, that's important. You bring a level of understanding of what these children's needs are that nobody else really has. And the way I can demonstrate that to you is by throwing some numbers at you. Most of our judges have about 1,000 kids on their caseload. And while it is kind of remarkable that our judges remember cases from 6-month hearing to 6-month hearing, that's a lot of information to keep straight. Our lawyers may have as many as 130, 150 clients, either parents or kids. And so even though they know their clients fairly well, that's a lot of people to keep track of, and there's only so much time in the day to talk to them. And often they're not sitting with these folks for hours at a time. Social workers do a tremendous job working with DCFS, but they have 12 to 15 families. And that's an awful lot of work when they're being asked to visit everyone once a month, keep track of all of the services, write reports to the court, and generally do all of the things that social workers need to do to assist the families. You folks are going to have one child. Maybe there's a few masochists amongst you who will have two. You're going to know this kid. And you're going to have a relationship with this kid that isn't kind of the legal relationship necessarily that the rest of us have. And you're going to know about not only what this child needs and what you need the court to order, but what the child's hopes and dreams are and what the court can do to assist them in all kinds of ways that other folks won't necessarily be presenting to the court. And it's really important that we get that information from you so that we as judges can do our job to try and provide these kids and families with the services they need and that they deserve. So it's important that when you're writing your reports, and yes, we read your reports, and when you're part of our proceedings, and yes, back in the old days when I was sitting in a court, I wanted you at the counsel table. I even wanted you making an appearance along with the lawyers and the parties so that everybody knew that you were part of the solution for the folks before us. We want to hear from you. It does not mean that the court will always agree with you. Ultimately, it's the court's role and responsibility to make its own independent judgment, but we take what you tell us very seriously. I can't guarantee you that the lawyers will always agree with you or be pleasant towards you if they feel that you're recommending something or have a position that contradicts the version of the case that they're trying to present to the judge. But your responsibility is to be there for the kids, advocate for them, and when you come to court, make sure that we know what we need to know, whether or not anyone else wants you to be telling us what you need to tell us. And that's really important. And so every month, you know, as you're looking at the check that CASA gives you for the work that you do, no check? No, you're not volunteering for this, are you? Wow. Every month as you, and every time you see that child and every time you come to court, remember that's your role. And obviously I'm not encouraging you to be aggressive with other people. And certainly, you know, that there's a deference that you need to provide to the court that is part of the judicial process. But you're in there to make sure that you write down what we need to know. And if the court is concluding a hearing and something hasn't been brought up that may not be entirely germane to what the court is dealing with that day, but is important to the child, it's perfectly okay. And in fact, you should, you know, stick up your hand and say, Your Honor, there's one more thing I think you need to know on behalf of this child, and then let us know. So be in there, be part of the process, do what you need to do for these kids, and we'll be thanking you for it because you are the volunteers. For many years, I've been paid to show up here every day, right? So is everybody else. You are people who are committing your time to try and help a number of children who are not necessarily easy children. And for those of you who get some of our more difficult teenagers, you will learn that very quickly. And sometimes the kids aren't going to be nice to you just because you're a volunteer trying to help them. And sometimes you'll be butting heads with them. But remember, there's a reason that they're acting that way. These are kids who've been abused and neglected. They're children who've been traumatized. And our job is to do what we can for them and work with what we have. And in the end, if you take a step back, never take anything personally, focus on your goals for the child and your goals for giving the court information that the kids need to have given to the court, then you're going to be very effective. And in the end, that's all any of us can do. And if you do your best, that's what the kids deserve. And I know that you all will be able to do that. And please never feel that you are not part of our court family. Never feel that you're not an integral part of our process. You're appointed for a reason. CASA doesn't decide who gets appointed. They may decide if they're going to accept an appointment, but it's a judge who says, this child, I think, needs a CASA. And if that's confirmed by the CASA analysis, then you're there for a reason. And make sure that you stand up for yourself, make sure that you stand up for the child and you fully participate. So I guess before I swear you in, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for giving of your time to these kids. They are particularly needy, they're particularly traumatized. and the help and assistance that you are going to give them is something that is beyond measure, and it's a gift that you are giving to those kids that no one will ever repay, and frankly, no one ever needs to repay, because I know you're volunteering because you sense the needs of these kids. And after having gone through the whole training process, those of you who are still with us, and I hope nobody dropped out, but those of you who are still with us know the importance of the work that you're going to do. So thank you and welcome. Okay, now that I forced you to listen to me for a couple of minutes, we're going to get to the celebratory portion of this. The first thing I'm going to do is give you 2 oaths. The first oath is kind of a straightforward oath, and then I'll explain a little bit the second oath before I give it. So I cannot see all of you because some of you, your bandwidth is not giving me a view of you. Some of you I can see. For all of those of you who do not have your video on, please put it on. And if everybody can please raise their right hand. All right, here we go. You ready to become CASAs? Oh, I'm not hearing anyone, so I'm assuming that that's an issue with my feed. If everybody could turn on their, unmute themselves. Okay, here we go. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do hereby swear that I will truly and faithfully perform the duties of court-appointed special advocate
which I am appointed, that I will do so according
on
to
all cases to which I am appointed,
on
all cases to which I am appointed,
that I will do so according to law
that I will do so
according to law
and the policies of CASA of Los Angeles,
and the policies
policies
of
CASA
CASA
of Los Angeles,
and that I will always act
and that I will
always act
in the best interests
in the best
in the best
interest
interest
of the children for whom I am appointed.
for
of the children for whom I am appointed.
Congratulations, you guys, you're CASAs. All right, I have one other oath for you guys to take. And before I give the oath, even though I know this has been explained to you, I'm going to make a few comments about it, and that's the Oath of Confidentiality. Juvenile court proceedings are confidential, and you are not allowed to discuss specifics and of these cases outside of the context of the work that you're doing. Now, and this is a big deal. When attorneys want to use juvenile court information in some other hearing, they have to apply to me for permission. If a juvenile wants to use their own information to attempt to apply for immigration status or for a job or to join the military, they have to ask me, and that applies to court records, that applies to your records, that applies to DCFS records, that even applies to police reports. We're very careful in not disseminating generally to the public information about these children. And they have a right to confidentiality and to privacy in these proceedings. And we take that very, very seriously. That is not to say that you can never tell your significant other or somebody else who you're trying to get into CASA or someone that you meet. I'm a CASA and I've been doing this wonderful work. I spoke to a school district last week because a child was, the school district was denying the child even getting an IEP. And then after the child got an IEP, they weren't providing the services. That's all perfectly fine. You can't identify children by name. You can't identify the circumstances of what you're doing in a way that the child or the family could be identified. So what I'm saying is you can talk about what you do as a CASA, but you can't really identify who you're doing it for or provide information that would allow anyone else to figure that out. Does that make sense? And I know that all the folks that you've been working with in CASA want you, hope you, expect you will be hopefully bringing in more people by explaining to them what a wonderful thing it is to be a CASA, how fulfilling it is. And even when it's tough, understanding what you're doing for these children. So be out there, talk about the wonders of being a CASA, but remember what I'm telling you here today. It is a really big deal that you not slip up, use a name, provide specific information, say I was at this particular school, I was talking to this particular regional center. That's where you kind of have to draw a line. A simple thing to do, but something you need to keep in mind when you're talking about these cases. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to give you the Oath of Confidentiality. The first part is me reading to you what it means. And the second part will have you stick your hands back up. So, as court-appointed volunteers, you will have access to dependency court legal files and proceedings. As you know, these files and dependency court proceedings are confidential. You are charged with the responsibility of upholding the confidentiality of these cases. You are not to discuss these cases nor reveal the identity of these children with any persons other than those individuals who are rightfully involved in the case. This would include those court personnel, social workers, family members, attorneys, or other professionals assigned to the case. Okay, last time, everybody, hands up. Unmute yourselves. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear to uphold the confidentiality
I do solemnly
Swear to uphold the confidentiality
of the information contained in the legal files
of the information
contained in the legal file
that comes to my, and all other case information that comes to my attention.
and all other
information
comes to my
comes to my
attention
attention
During the course of my work as a,
during the course of my work
as a
now everybody together,
court
appointed
advocate.
Court appointed.
Wonderful, guys. You are fully in now. Congratulations. It's wonderful to have you join us.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here comes a little bit of a fun part of this today. Normally, what we'd be doing if you were here in person is you'd all be coming up to the front. I'd be congratulating you, shaking your hand. Pictures are taken, cake is eaten, and then Lynn and the rest of the gang find the most difficult kids to pawn off on you, right? No, I'm kidding. And then we just kind of have a wonderful afternoon, and many of your family members are here to see it. I'm hoping some of your family members are here today to see the important and really significant thing that you're doing here. And what I'm going to do is call on each of you and give you the opportunity to say a few words to the rest of the group that you're graduating with, and to acknowledge anyone who joined you here today to celebrate your achievement in becoming a CASA. So with that being said, we'll start with Gay Crucius. Congratulations, Gay, and go to it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am just pleased to be here. I really enjoyed the training. It was intense, but Kayla kept us on track and kept us moving along and going along. And I'm really glad I did this. And I wish all of my fellow trainees and now CASAs a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Gay. Next up is Samantha Bowser. Congratulations, Samantha.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to say thank you so much. This has been such a really good experience, better than I could have expected. Kayla, thank you for teaching us so many new things. And I just look forward to learning more as we go forward. So thanks.
Great. Next up is Cherie. Is it Braze or Brazy?
Raise. Thank you.
Raise.
Yeah, thanks. All right, thank you. And yeah, same basically echoes everyone. I'm really excited. Congratulations to everyone. And thank you, Kayla and Emily, for all of your guidance and support through this entire process.
Thank you, Cherie. Next up, Bijan Hardison. Congratulations, Bijan.
Thank you, Your Honor. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Kayla, like everybody. Her energy in class was really uplifting, especially for those long sessions, but I learned a lot. I want to give a huge shout out to my parents who are watching and my best friend, Zen.
Terrific. Next up is Marjorie Hunt. Congratulations, Marjorie.
Thank you. Again, thank you so much, Kayla, for all of your support to all of us. This is something that I've been wanting to do for at least 5 years. So I'm really, really excited to finally be here and doing it. I'm really excited to be able to get to know the children and also the other CASAs and hopefully support each other. And I want to shout out to Raymond, who is watching me on the YouTube live stream. Thank you.
And next up is Jenny Matkovich. Congratulations, Jenny.
Thanks. Thank you, Your Honor. I want to thank you all for your time and energy. I really loved hearing everybody's perspectives and growing. And also a shout out to Matt, who's also graduating as a CASA, my partner, for doing this with me, and my family in Missouri and Iowa watching. Thank you.
Wonderful. Next up is Claudia Noonan. Claudia, congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor. Really appreciate it. And Kayla, so many thanks. Emily, so many thanks. You not only taught us, you challenged us to think at a different level. And that's going to be so valuable if we can keep challenging ourselves in the same positive way you taught us. Life will be good. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Claudia. Next up, Rebecca Roth. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Thank you. And I want to thank, Kayla and Emily for taking us on this learning journey. It was really excellent to get here. Thank you to everyone in class. This was a really, really good experience. Looking forward to the future.
Terrific. Congratulations to our next new CASA, Matthew Saladino. Take it away, Matthew.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks, Kayla. Thanks for everything. You made it really fun to learn everything, and it made the time go by really quickly. And then thanks to this whole group on here. Couldn't imagine learning all this stuff with a different group of people. Even though it would have been so great to be in person with everybody, I feel like I got to know everybody just a little bit through this. That was really great. Hope to see you guys soon. And just want to shout out to my family and Jenny's family who are out there on YouTube watching us. Hey, everybody.
All right. Congratulations to Emma Tani. Emma, your turn.
Yeah, just like everyone else, I wanted to say thank you so much to Kayla and Emily. You guys did such a good job making this whole process super seamless, and you made the breakout rooms, everything was so organized and so well thought out. So thank you guys so much. And my mom is also a CASA, and she is the one who got me involved in this. So she's watching right now, and she's like super proud of me. She's probably crying right now. So thank you guys, really appreciate it.
She should be proud of you, Emma. You should be proud of her as well. Fiona Walsh-Hines. Fiona, congratulations.
Thank you. And I echo everybody else's sentiments about Kayla and Emily and Taina, and really the whole program was just, I think, well crafted, well organized, and it was a lot of information to learn in a very small amount of time, but the exercises were incredibly thoughtful and mind-opening, and thanks to the fellow trainees. And thank you, Judge. Excited to go forward.
Thank you. Next up is Christina Vigil. Congratulations, Christina.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Kayla, Taina, Emily. Thank you so much. This was absolutely fabulous. These 5 weeks flew by, but also were very challenging. And I can't wait to get started. So thank you.
Great. Sarah Schwab. Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you, Your Honor. And also, yes, of course, thank you so much to Kayla and Emily and Taina. I really appreciate your excellent organization and your support throughout this whole process. Thank you to my fellow trainees who've been really open and supportive of each other. The whole process has been very educational and humbling, and I'm just looking forward to getting started with the advocacy now.
Wonderful. Next up is Celia Parry. Congratulations, Celia.
Hi, I'm Celia. I probably look new to most of you, but I was in a previous class. Anyways, I'm traveling right now, but I'm super excited to be graduating with you guys. And just want to say thanks to Taina, who was our supervisor for our group. And I'm really excited to meet everybody and to start as soon as possible.
Wonderful. And Sarah Braff. Congratulations, Sarah.
Hi, thank you. I'm also on my single days of work left after a 31-year teaching career. Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Both of my parents were teachers.
I have a special thanks for Emily, who's been tremendously patient with me. I'm having a lot of technical issues, and she is being so patient through that. And to Kayla and everyone at CASA, you're terrific. And all of you guys, thank you for letting me come into your class, because I was in a different class, but I appreciate the welcoming I got from your class. Thank you.
Unless somebody tells me right now that I skipped them, I think we can move to the next part, which could be a little bit chaotic, but is there any, and I didn't want to do it for each individual because I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, but are there any of our guests today who want to say anything about how they feel about the person that they're here to celebrate? You can all kind of talk at once and then we'll sort it out as we figure it out. So is there anyone who wants to just kind of chime in and say anything about the person you're here to support?
I think the family and friends are viewing on the YouTube stream. They wouldn't be inside the Zoom meeting.
Well, then I encourage you to get on the phone or text or send an email to all of these folks to tell them how proud you are and to let them know that you understand that, you know, this is not the easiest type of service that one can do for one's community. This is one of the toughest, and to let them know how much you support them and how much you appreciate them, because we certainly support and appreciate them here. You know, listening to all of you speak, it's really nice to hear you thanking Kayla and Emily and Taina. It demonstrates to me and reminds me just how wonderful the CASA's office is and the CASA's staff is. And that you guys should recognize that not only are they wonderful, but you're now part of that wonderful group. And it's really inspiring to see all of you here. It's really exciting to know that each of you is going to make a difference in a child's life. And we judges all look forward to seeing you in court. So take care. Congratulations. And I think this concludes my portion of the swearing in ceremony, unless Lynn or one of the other folks tells me I've got something else to do.
No, that was perfect, Judge Greenberg. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and swear everybody in and welcome everyone to this role, especially in your final single days before retirement.
You're welcome.
Also, thank you. Also to everybody on the YouTube stream, you will see there is a panel, kind of like a live chat panel. You can also go ahead and throw some of your comments to your loved ones in there as well as text them and call them and sign up for CASA yourself. All right, so the next part of graduation that we're going to be moving into is hearing from different departments within the organization. So the next person we're going to hear from is Angela Daughtry, the Manager of Outreach and Recruitment.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Congratulations. I'm so glad that you have made it. It just warms my heart to know that we have more family here with us that have graduated. And so my job is to ask you to invite other people. I mean, I already know that Jenny and Matthew brought somebody, but we need more people to come and fill those seats. We have more children in care that need wonderful people like you. I wrote myself a note and I want to make sure that I say it. Thank you. I want to say thank you for taking your time out and having your heart full enough of love to come and be with us and be part of CASA. So thank you. You're going to enjoy it here. The advocacy staff, wonderful. Everybody's great. And we are glad to have you here. So now just invite other people and have them come see me. And we'll get them started and through that wonderful class and hopefully with Kayla, and they will experience what you have experienced. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. All right, the next person we are going to hear from is Marie Carpenter, the Director of Development. Oh, actually, I don't think Marie is here yet. Okay, we're gonna come back to Marie. All right, let's go ahead and hear from Megan, our Chief Pro. Oh wait, I think I see a video coming on. Oh, here's Marie. One moment. We're having a couple of tech difficulties in the background.
Getting around to right now. Yeah.
Welcome, Marie. I saw that you just came in and it's perfect timing because you're up next. Next person I'd like to introduce, Marie Carpenter, our Director of Development. Okay, Marie might just be settling in for now.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
hey.
Okay.
Actually, hi, sorry, Kayla. Woo,
You're okay.
Just in time.
You have to activate your camera too, Marie.
Oh, am I not? Okay. I'll get it together, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Kayla, and my apologies, but I'm glad I made it in and see your everyone's beautiful faces. So congratulations. My name is Marie Carpenter. I am part of the team that manages our fundraising and marketing efforts. CASA LA, as you know, it's a nonprofit organization. And so we received the majority of our funding from individuals, many businesses and foundations. We have a robust grant program. So all donations are to support and sustain our advocacy work and also looking to grow and serve more children in the system. And I also want to say that we know it is extra special when a CASA goes above and beyond their advocacy work, which is, first and foremost, the #1 priority. And you're already giving so much as a volunteer. So we are grateful for you. When you go above and beyond, with helping any fundraising efforts. So as a volunteer, I just want to ask you or let you know that you are also a CASA organization advocate. So what I want to ask you is that, when you're out in the community or in your neighborhood, that you just keep an eye out for any funding opportunities for us. So many companies have matching gift programs where if you make a donation, you work for a company that does that, they'll match your dollars, or some even match your volunteer hours. You may also work for a company or know of a company that sponsors events, and you can let us know about that. Or if you know someone at a foundation where we can apply for a grant, but oftentimes we need an introduction to, the person at the foundation. Definitely you can do that for us. And one of the easier ways to support us is if you shop on Amazon or if you buy your groceries from Ralph's. Amazon has Amazon Smile where they give us proceeds from your shopping, or if you connect your club card to Ralph's, Ralph's donates a percentage of what you spend at their stores. So, and then as a CASA, you'll also be informed of all our events throughout the years that we put on ourselves. We just had our virtual gala in May, and pre-COVID, it raises about 25% of our revenue. And many CASAs do come and volunteer the day up because, when you're done with your shift, which is usually pretty easy, an hour or so. You can enjoy the rest of the evening and watch our program where we honor lots of community members and CASA volunteers for their work. And we're getting ready. Oh, I do want to say that because it's virtual, this year the gala was virtual, so it's on YouTube. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel to watch. And then we're getting ready for a 5K, 10K called Justice Jog. And that is held in partnership with the Legal Administrators Group in LA. So look for that. And then we have a wine and art event coming up this fall. And so we're very excited to be able to have in-person events again. So, look out for those invitations. And one last thing, we are active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're, trying to continue to do that more. So if you post photos from today's graduation, please tag us, and please also follow us, because then you'll get all the latest news. And please keep in touch. I will add my email address in the chat here. And if you have any questions, let me know. And thank you again for all your time and your support and for becoming part of the CASA family. We're so grateful for you all.
Thank you so much, Marie. The next person we're going to hear from is Remy. He is going to speak on behalf of the training department as our training manager.
Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you all for being here and for being part of this event, but also for all the hard work that you did to get to this point. We put you through a lot in a very short amount of time. And I know that, I talk to my trainers on a regular basis, and they tell me how much work you're doing and how great the conversations are that you're having in class. You're about to take those things you've learned in class and start to apply them in reality, which means you're about to see that everything you learned is just getting you started. You're going to have so many things pop up that are going to be new, that are going to be different, that are going to be things you didn't expect, or things you're like, I know we talked about this, but I don't remember what we talked about. And that's great. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that's going to be you helping the life of a child and you making sure that somebody is in their court. Somebody is trying to make sure that things are moving in the proper direction for them. That means that as you are moving forward, we hope that you will also recognize when there are things that you need help with and continue coming back to the training team. Specifically, we now will have you joining us for a lot of our in-service trainings. And those in-service trainings are going to give you some great insight for things that are specific to more nuanced pieces that you're going to see within your case in particular. Of course, our trainers are always here and we're always happy to chat with you, but you're also going to be meeting with a supervisor today who's going to be the person that's going to be your go-to. And they're going to be the one who can point you towards some knowledge as well. So they'll let you know when in-services are coming. They're going to let you know if you have other things that may be a service or a learning opportunity for you so you can better serve these kids. On a personal note, I just want to thank you all for what you do. It's hard work. It's volunteer work, so you don't get paid. And it's not easy to do what you're doing. But we appreciate every moment that you were doing that. And we hope that you're going to get more people. We hope that you are willing to support us financially, but ultimately you're doing the work that we want you to do. You're helping a kid, and that's all we could ask for. So I would like to thank you on behalf of the training team and on behalf of CASA itself. And I will turn the time back over to Kayla.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Next, we're going to hear from a familiar face, Director of Volunteer Services, Lynn Gabriel.
Hi, everyone. I had a little trouble with my video, but having been a CASA for many years, that frustration did not get to me because it's nothing compared to the frustration that some of you all will have. I know Charity couldn't be here because she's at the board meeting today. So I want to welcome you on behalf of Charity and just tell you a little bit about my experience, because it might help you to, as you think about yours, as you move forward. So I became a CASA in 2002 and I joined the staff here in 2011. In 2014, I became a foster parent. And in 2016, I became an adoptive parent. And one of the things that I learned when I became a CASA, so the first time, it was much the same way it is for you all. When I became a CASA, they had us write down what specifics about a child we'd like to work with. And so I said that I felt most comfortable. I wanted to work with a girl and elementary school age. So I got assigned a 14-year-old boy, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And it turned out that this was the perfect child for me to work with, youth. He would kill me for that. And the whole time that I worked with him, he didn't know half the stuff I was doing behind the scenes. He was kind of an emo kid, didn't really want to talk to me much. All he wanted was out of the system. He had been in the system since he was a little boy, in and out of foster homes, back to his mom, back and forth, and he just wanted out. So at 18, he aged out of the system and decided to go hop trains. And he joined what I found out is a very vibrant hobo culture in this country. And it was having the time of his life because he never felt so free. He was seeing parts of the country he'd never seen before. And he called me. I think he'd been out of the system for a couple of years. I hadn't heard from him. And he called me out of the blue. And just hearing his voice on the other end of the phone, when I said hello, he just said, "Hey." And it brought tears to my eyes because that kid couldn't remember my phone number while he was in care to save his life. But he had my phone number, and he knew that I was somebody who cared. And that's all I ever wanted. That was success for me. You know, some of our kids will go to college, some will go to trade school, some you'll be trying to get them to go to school 2 days a week instead of 1. But that was success for me because he knew that I was somebody who cared about him and that he could call. And he really was just calling me to say, hey. And then when I asked him where he was in Ventura County going to see his mom. And he was in Ventura County coming down here to see his mom. And I said, well, do you want me to come get you? He was like, oh, no. And I said, of course I'll come get you. So I drove up there to get him, not knowing that he had a really stinky dog with him. It took me a week to get that smell out of my car, but the dog was adorable. So I took him to see his mom, and I'm still in touch with his mom. And when he was down, what he wanted to do was he had a new niece, and he wanted to come in town to collect a bunch of recycling so that he could get money to buy diapers for the baby and contribute. And after he did that, he went back out on the road again. And about 6 months later, I think, he fell off a train and hit his head, and he passed away. And as heartbreaking and horrible and sad as that was and is, he left this earth knowing that somebody had his back and that he could call no matter what. Now, he never confided a ton of stuff in me. We talked, but that I showed up. I showed up consistently. And that made all the difference. It was an amazing experience. And like I said, I still talk to his mom, and she never would have been the mom he deserved, but she was the best mom that she could be given her circumstances. So I hope you all remember that going forward, that no parent has a kid thinking that they're going to send them into foster care. They love their kids, and they do the best they can with what they were given, the tools that they were given. And I hope you give them some grace and some empathy, and really importantly, give yourself some grace. Don't expect that you're going to see mountains being moved. But if you show up when you say you'll show up, you will move hearts. And this is going to be the best, hardest thing you've ever done. And please know that the whole team at Volunteer Services is here for you. And as you leave our nest and move on to advocacy, you're going to get tremendous support. And we're all here for you. And so thankful that you've decided to take on this journey. So congratulations to all of you.
Thanks so much, Lynn, for sharing your story. To close here, I just want to tell everybody congratulations. I'm incredibly proud of everyone. It's been a long journey from completing your application to being here today. Thank you for being an amazing class. You know, learning is symbiotic. So as much as you all said that you learned from me, I also learned so much from all of you. And thank you for choosing to spend some of your free time to be an advocate for youth and also opening your minds to learning new things. From here on out, I will be putting you into the care of your advocate supervisor who you will be meeting right now. Before we go into that though, I just also want to thank everybody who joined us on the YouTube live stream. And a final congratulations again to our new court-appointed special advocates. Taking one last look at all the faces. Okay, Jeremy, could you go ahead and explain this last final phase of graduation?
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you everybody on the YouTube stream for being here. We're going to be ending the YouTube stream in just a moment here so that all of our volunteers who are now officially graduated and have moved from trainees to being volunteer CASA advocates, they're going to be meeting with their supervisors. So if everybody wants to give a round of applause and thanks to the people that supported you who are on YouTube, we're going to be letting them go, but thanking them so much for being here with you.